attacks as acceptable. Joe Biden was an unmitigated mess. Axios has gotten and now released excerpts of the audio tape from special counsel Hur's interview with President Biden. Remember, Robert Hur's initial report about the former president was that he was an elderly man with a poor memory. Oh my goodness, the audio is so much worse than that description.
And so in these photos...
All right, I've confirmed with the store. As soon as you...
Here at Chambers Road, what kinds of things were these?
Everything, I believe, everything from, empty files to I just had files piled up if I needed a file, to, I don't know.
Do you have any idea where this material would have been before it got moved into the garage?
Oh, it was 2013. When was I vice president?
2017.
So I was vice president. So it must have come from vice president stuff. That's all I can think of.
Well, this is adding even more fodder to accusations of a wide-ranging cover-up involving Biden's inner circle, Democrats, and the liberal media. Add in now the release of several of those explosive books on the Biden White House, and it's a firestorm that won't go away.
We've dealt with aging relatives. It's hard to convince somebody to give up their car keys.
It's not just Republicans deflecting. This guy was the president of the United States for 4 years and thought he could run and be president for 4 more. Active cover-up from people close to Joe Biden.
There are people who knew and said the Democrats are going to pay for a long time for being a part of what is now being revealed to be a massive cover-up.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board says Democrats will face the consequences. Quote, the cover-up of Mr. Biden's mental decline will go down as one of the great scandals of modern politics, end quote. But South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn is still defending his friend Joe Biden.
I talk to him on the telephone very often.
That's why he ought to be fired. He's a liar. He's a liar. He needs to be fired.
Do you
He
think
needs
that
to
Joe
be
Biden
fired.
really would have been able to perform as president all the way through January 2029 when he would be 86? Yes, I thought that.
Man, let's see now bad he need to be fired.
And Mark Pryor, former Arkansas senator, great to see you both. Tudor, when you hear him say that he still thinks that Jim Clyburn is a big name in the Democratic Party, always has been able to deliver a lot of the black vote for early primaries for Democrats as congressman, what's your reaction to him?
Well, Harris, I think it's interesting that you point out that he's a big name for Democrats because he is also 84 years old and he's defending a longtime friend. I honestly think that people are going to set this aside as just someone who has not been willing to let go of the past. The evidence is out there. The disturbing thing is that we all saw the evidence. We all talked about it. Harris, how many times did you talk about it? And now Jake Tapper's going to get rich off of talking about what he hid before? I think that's the real crime here.
Senator Pryor, this seems to be a big roadblock in your party right now. Because this isn't just a couple of people talking about what they thought they may have seen and his acuity level or whatever. This is on tape. We can all hear this.
Yeah, let me just say a few things about that. First, I'd say step back, big picture. This is an illustration in my mind that we should always be praying for our president, right? And not just the president himself and his health and his mental health and everything else, his decision making, but also for the people around him. And I think that we ought to be, and look, y'all pray for President Trump every chance I get. I'm not cheering for failure here for President Trump, just like I wasn't for Joe Biden or for George W. Bush or whoever else, I haven't served with. But anyway, I just think that everybody needs to, keep that in perspective, and that we should really lift up these men.
I hear what you're saying, but
man,
I think
fuck lift up shit. These bitches did some illegal shit, bitch. You talking about lift them up.
What we're talking talking about is a man who couldn't have a conversation and wasn't sentient enough to face trial on a classified documents case that had a lot of evidence against him in it, yet he was controlling the nuclear policy of this country. There's no way that you can be okay with that and think that that compares somehow with anything else that we're experiencing. Senator.
I'm not trying to make excuses for him.
You can't.
And this tape that you showed,
how can I help?
And you guys were kind enough
No
to send me
problem,
the
it's on its
4.5
way.
minutes, the full tape of this part of the interview. The truth is, they took the interview over 2 days. I haven't seen the whole tape. The part that you sent me, well, was obviously there were some rough spots in it, clearly.
So you think that we have the ability to do what with the original tapes coming out of a federal investigation? I don't know what you're accusing, but we sent you what we have. I'm confused by that, but let's get to this. Back in February of last year, then Vice President Kamala Harris was going after Robert Hur's report. Now this is rich, watch.
What I saw in that report last night, I believe is, as a former prosecutor, the comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate. So the way that the president's demeanor could not be more wrong on the facts. And clearly,
we should be able to hold up to that. She needs to be fired too.
Gratuitous.
She needs to be fired
Robert
too.
Hur was trying to tell us the truth. He could have gone further. Tudor.
I mean, this should have been disqualifying for her back then, but to think that the Democrat Party is still talking about her as a
Joe
front runner
Biden
for
had a coup gun on him by his own
complete
part.
crisis for them.
That shit
Every
crazy.
single one of them came out and said ridiculous things like that while we stood by and watched the decline. We watched him. He couldn't debate, but it went beyond that. He never did an interview. He couldn't actually sit down with people. Remember when he walked off in the middle of the interview, right off of the TV stage? I mean, it was obvious to all of us, and every one of these people covered it up. From Gavin Newsom to Kamala Harris, every one of them is disqualified. They are partying crisis. They have no, and praying for them. Come on, give me a break. This is total evil. These are people who wanted control. They wanted power, and this is not a time for prayer. This is a time for investigation. This is not a poor man being picked on, as you said, Harris. These are people who deceived the entire country. They took control and they seized control.
Senator, we will give you last word next time. We have to scoot, but I thank you both. Great conversation. The Outnumbered is next.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host Harris Faulkner.
Bullshit. I'm just saying, this dude should be in jail, man.
The Hope administration manufactured and politicized intelligence during Trump's 2016 election.
No, that's fucked up. They plot and plan on Donald Trump and got away with it by getting Joe Biden elected. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's real messed up. And that's where we fucking up at. We allowing these bitches to get away with this shit. And that shouldn't happen. At all. I'm just saying. It's time for us to realize who's running who and who's playing the game on who while lying. That's just it. We shouldn't have nobody in Congress lying. All of them supposed to be high and held to a higher standard. So if they, period, that's it, that's all. I'm just saying. My man will be at the well shit, I end it right there because I'm just going further, man.